Hey guys, sorry, my video got cut off, so whatever. Um, so this is part two, because it seems like my story is gonna be a little longer than I thought. Anyway, um, so yeah, so there was that blind woman, she couldn't get anywhere, so I had to lead her, but then I had to find a wheelchair for this other person who couldn't walk, and, they weren't going to be able to walk around. So I had to go find them. I had to lead the blind woman. I had to go find a wheelchair anyway. That place was a mess. And then I was really royally pissed off because there was nobody that would help disabled people like there. They were always, oh, sorry, ma'am, just ask someone else. Or, sorry, ma'am, you can't do this. Or blah, 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 blah. And it's like, these are people, you know. Like, it's not like... You know, it was just so frustrating. It was just, there's no way to describe it. Anyways. So yeah, Saturday I took him back, to stay with his training. A week and a half passed, and my mom was released, and she took the bus, well, she took that subway thing that we rode, and she rode it, from the airport to the bus stop. And then she walked barefoot for about, like, she took her shoes off and was walking barefoot. And she walked about, like I said, it takes like 5 or 7 miles to get there. She walked that all the way back home barefoot. And I was, like, surprised she even found our house and stuff, because she was, like, out of it. She was still on medicine or whatever. And then that Friday, she got back, Sid came home. He only spent like a week, and, well, no, it was about 2 weeks he stayed with his trans friends. Then he came home, and he was happy, but Dad wasn't so sure. If you don't know, my dad, he's in the military. He does, sorry, that was my phone. Let me turn that off so it doesn't ring. My dad is a great man, but a little disagreeable. He used to be really nice. He used to accept gay people and trans people. He used to be a lot of things. But when he got remarried to my stepmom, it was like he changed. My stepmom just hates me for some reason. Don't really know why. I mean, I haven't done anything to set her off, or I haven't, you know, it's just one of those things. She loves everybody else. She loves my twin. She loves Sid, and she loves Aaron and Bren. They're my brothers and sister, by the way. If you don't know. So whatever. So when my dad found out about my mom and all that crap that's been going on, he just lost it. He demanded that me and Sid come to Japan. And they live in Japan because they're military and they were sent there. So he demanded that we come to Japan to live with him. Of course, my stepmom disagreed that I should come because I was doing so great here. Why would I need to come all the way to Japan? It's Sydney that needs to come, not Danielle. Which is bullshit. We already know that she just doesn't want me around. Anyway. So my father just agreed that I would stay here, but they were gonna definitely take Sid. And, but then my dad told everybody that my mom tried to commit suicide. Like, he told all our family members. If you don't know, I'm in a Mormon family. I'm not Mormon. My mom's left the Mormon church, don't worry. But we come from a Mormon family, and if you don't know, they have a lot of freaking kids. Like, my mom has 8 siblings. My dad has 7 siblings. And then they're remarried, and they all had, like, 5 kids. So, if you can imagine, I don't even know all my cousins. Like, I have so many family members, I don't even know them all. But he managed to email everybody and tell everyone about, you know, everything. And it was like, I was getting calls 24/7 about, you know, are you okay, Danielle? Do you need help? Should we come get you? is your mom reliable? Do you need to stay with us? Or, you know, I'm like, yeah, my mom's made a few mistakes, but she's not helpless. She's a wonderful person. And I think people overlook that. I don't know. Maybe they don't overlook it. They're just worried. But, I mean, she is trustworthy. I mean, well, most of the time she's trustworthy. She's trustworthy now. Um, anyway, so eventually it got down to my Uncle Jay and Cheryl decided to come down. And they were going to come down, take care of me and Sid, and stay with us. Even though we said, don't come. But they came. I mean, they're not that bad people. I love my Uncle Jay. Uncle Jay and my Uncle Ben are my favorite uncles. They're crazy. Like, funny, good way crazy, but they're crazy. So they stayed with us for about a week. They fixed some stuff, added a new microwave to our kitchen, and they were just hanging around. I don't know what they were planning on doing, but they were just around. So Sid was sent off to Japan. Now I'm the only child living with my mom. So now all 4 of my siblings have left. But okay, whatever. So another week passed. The plays were over. I was working on 2 plays, Cats and Big Love. Cats, I love doing the makeup. I love doing the costumes. But I hate that musical. It's such a terrible musical. But I loved it. I worked 3 hours each day putting on everybody's makeup, and then I spent multiple hours, like, over the months making those costumes. But that ended. Big Love, if you don't know what that is, it's a play about like 50 wives and 50 sons have an arranged marriage. Pretty much 2 parents decided that they were all gonna get married, and the men were like, "Oh yeah, we're getting married, woohoo!" And the women are like, "F to the no." So in the end, a bunch of the men get murdered, all except one couple. The main couple, whatever, they're in love with each other, so they just couldn't do it, whatever, all that love drama, whatever. Anyway, oh my god. Cleaning the blood off of those white dresses. Sorry, thought someone was behind me. I saw a shadow, and I thought someone was behind me. Cleaning the blood off of those costumes was like, ugh, hated it. It was awful. But, we did it. Don't get me wrong, we did it. And it was amazing. It was really good. It was a really good play. So there was 1 week of rest between then and, you know, all that crap that happened. And I forgot to mention, 2 people I knew committed suicide during that time. Why I say that time? Because 1 more suicide was just added to that. 2 suicides, being that one of my friends, one of them was transgendered. Apparently he was getting bullied a lot. We didn't know that at the time until after we found out why. He was getting bullied at school. He was unable to use any of the bathrooms at school because he couldn't, well, he was a girl to boy, so they wouldn't allow him to go into the boys' bathroom because technically he was a girl, and then he couldn't go into the girls because he's, you know, he had surgery, so he's technically a guy. So he had nowhere to go. He just had to hold it until he got home. A bunch of other teachers. It's the same exact situation my brother had to deal with, where the bathrooms, PE, the whole segregation thing was just not right, and then teachers would refuse to use their new names, you know, because obviously if you're a girl turning into a guy, you can't have a girly name. You have to change it. So they would refuse to use those names. They would refuse to use their correct pronouns, and so on. So yeah, so he died. And then one of my friends at school committed suicide. I won't mention names because it's still new and I don't have permission to say their names, you know, because you have to have their parents' permission to mention them. You don't want to just put it out there on YouTube. Second one was this guy I knew at my school. I knew his sister too because she goes to Maryvale, and I met her through there because I do costumes at Maryvale. That's how I got into cats. So yeah, so though both of them I lost. Recently, like a week ago, I lost another person, Miki. She lives in Japan. She was the first girlfriend I ever had, first relationship I ever had. Because before then I was asexual. And that obviously changed. And, I lost her. She was amazing. She said she was gonna wait for me until I came back to Japan, because I said I was always gonna come back eventually. And she mentioned me in her suicide letter, so I think it only made it harder. I talked to her dad to ask if I could spread her ashes here in America where she wanted to be, but her father said no, you know, because he wanted the ashes. But I knew that she'd always talk to me about how if she wanted her ashes spread, she would want them to be spread on any beach of America, because she was a big America fan. I was a big Japan fan. We made a great couple. And so yeah, well, he said no, so, you know, like I said, it happens. So anyway, so pretty much all that stuff I told to my ex. Going back to the ex. My time's running out. I'm gonna have to make a third part. Oh. So yeah, so I told it to her, and she's just like, okay, that was interesting. She's like, are you sure you didn't make any of that up? I'm like, nope. Unfortunately, it's all true. So, yeah, that was just lovely. And, but then, so we went back inside the house, and Don was acting really strange. Just odd. Like, he acted like he was high or something, like on drugs or whatever. But I shrugged it off, and I was like, it's probably just Don being Don. The next day, like I said, wrote it all down on my iPad. I have to look at it every once in a while because I forget. I have a terrible memory. Next day, Dawn pissed my mom off, so she had left. You know, she went to stay with a friend. So it was only me and Dawn at the house. In the middle of the night, that night, I heard crashing noises, and I found the ferret and the cat hiding in my room. And I was like, oh God, what now? So I go downstairs. I almost wanted to scream. I saw the living room was torn apart. The bookshelf over there was on the ground. Books were everywhere. Papers were everywhere. Broken glass was littered the floor. And the microwave had been thrown out the glass door thing that leads to our deck. And the couch was ripped. The kitchen was just as bad. Place missing where the microwave was, and broken plates and glass littered the floor. Food was dumped on the floor. Da 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 da. It was a mess, and I cleaned it all up right before my mom came home, so she didn't know, sort of, except that the window/door was, you know, broken, and I can't really hide that, can I? So, anyway, on to part 3. Yeah.